you have someone that is good doing what is good, and if you force them to perform well in the things that they are bad, it's not a good result, because it's not natural. So of course you can improve slightly what is less good, but don't force them to be what they are not, because then you will lose both things. They will not perform anymore what they are good to do, because they are not any more motivated. They will feel, let's say, they feel that they are not good because they are putting some other things that are not natural, and at the end it's a lose-lose situation.
Right. So we just simply, like, the people who, if we try to utilize their weaknesses and try to expand the weaknesses. So my strategy is about always focus on the strengths, and focusing on the weaknesses is always a bad strategy. It can be just enough to cover it up. So basically, like you mentioned, when you focus on somebody's weaknesses and we tell them to do that one, we just bring them to a panic zone, not a comfort zone anymore. Yes. We move from stress to panic zone, and that's a counterproductive simply. So it's a very bad strategy. It's very bad strategy to bring people to panic zone. And like I say, this one, everybody cannot be everyone. So we need to find out what they are best at it, and what is the best way they can contribute to the team. And what I like to do on this one, I always focus about hiring my strategy. So when I'm recruiting the team members, I always pay attention what would be the right fit for the team. And I think there's a lot, what I've seen in perspective, a lot of managers don't think that way too. They don't hire the right peoples, and then they push them to different directions, turn their weaknesses to a strength, don't value their strength as well too, don't let them utilize some time on the strength too, and they finally say this one, everything's changed, we have to restructure the organization, and finally it's a lose-lose, like you mentioned. Finally the talent walk away and the company lose, and then finally the project is not done, and now employee branding go down, people go out unhappy. It's just bad.
Let me just do a very quick comment on that.
Yeah.
How many managers do you really know that take the time to think deeply about what they expect for a new employee? From a new employee, they are hiring. They ask the HR to put the job description, the role, but they really spend a minute thinking about what they want? I don't think so. Most of the time, even for critical positions, they don't spend 1 minute thinking about the soft skills, what the type of person that they really want to hire, despite the job description. And this is the problem, because then they ended up hiring the wrong people.
Right. I agree that I think very small amount, actually, to answer your question, that very small amount of managers actually seen this one. They have really thought about what kind of people will be right for the team as well. And they think that this is the job of the HR department, and HR department think that, oh, this is your teams and you should be doing that one too. So it's like a ball finally is not anybody's court, and it's just left alone over there. So now what happened is this one, managers, finally hiring manager, recruiting team, just looking at the profile and focusing on the competency, hard competencies, and all the soft competencies they left out. And finally, they didn't even train and coach on the soft competency, and not everybody is trainable on this thing too. So now it's a disaster.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that need to stop. That's the thing I can tell.